Well, hello once again. This is me, Leonard, broadcasting as usual from HASLINGDEN, 30 miles or 50 kilometres due north of Manchester in the UK, on Sunday the 16th of October 2011. I want to say something on this occasion about films. The type of film you see at the cinema, which then appear on the BBC or ITV or one of the other channels some years later. Now, my father died in 1943 during the war, and my mother, for solace, turned to the cinema. In those days, my hometown of Warrington had 14 cinemas, and the films would change quite regularly during that period. And so you had an enormous choice of films. I would say about two-thirds were from Hollywood, and the other third was largely from Britain itself, and sometimes from France, occasionally from Italy and so on. It seems to me that the most popular films tend to be rather violent. And I watched one this evening called Metro with Eddie Murphy, in which he played a negotiator who was called in when somebody was taken hostage in a bank hold-up or something like that. And it was full of violence from start to finish. Very exciting. I mean, there was tremendous car chases and a runaway tram. And at the end, the baddie, who always plays it for all he's worth, had the heroine, the female, strapped to a bench with an approaching electric saw ready to cut off her head, with Eddie Murphy stranded holding the button, preventing this from happening. And that kind of film takes your mind off almost any situation. It's very, very, very attractive. But this is the problem, that people see these films and they go in deeply and they fill you full of quite horrid emotions. We love to hate the baddie who plays it for all it's worth, to make us hate him, like they do in wrestling matches, which is all fixed, of course, on television. And there's always one that everybody loves to hate, and there's always one that everybody loves to cheer. And that's what happens in films, only more so. And the problem is that people get drawn into these films and think deeply about them, and they affect many people. This is why the world is full of people going around killing people, because we keep seeing it and letting it go deeply into our minds and thought processes. And it fills us with all kinds of primitive emotions like hate, anger, and desires for revenge and all that kind of stuff. If you read the good book, we're meant to love our neighbour, not be encouraged to kill our neighbours or hate our neighbours. Why not have noble films with noble qualities, like A Man for All Seasons? I admit, at the end he had his head chopped off. But the film itself aroused the most noble of sentiments and themes and qualities in human nature. And Ben-Hur, for example, there were killing scenes in Ben-Hur, but it had a tremendously uplifting theme. You could say the same thing for Lawrence of Arabia and the story of Moses, and the greatest story ever told about Jesus, although of course that was full of violence. Nevertheless, those kind of films left you uplifted. They didn't leave you full of anger and angst and all the other kinds of wicked feelings. That's basically all I wanted to say. We wonder why our young people go astray when they do, but they see all these horrible films in which people kill each other, these video games in which people kill each other, which vie against each other for attention and for sales, of course, in the amount of violence within them. And really, television should be to educate people, not solely to entertain. It should largely be educational. Now, the BBC makes some fabulous educational films. I mean, Attenborough's films about nature are absolutely remarkable. And you can learn a great deal from BBC films. History, politics, geography, all kinds of things. And it's much more worthwhile to watch a film which educates than it is to watch something violent like this film I watched this evening called Metro with Eddie Murphy. So that's all really I wanted to say. I suppose people will consider me an old fuddy-duddy, but I've probably seen more films than most of you ever dreamed of. And I think I know that my conclusions after 60 years or so of watching movies are probably quite correct. I don't know about you, but I love a good belly laugh. Laurel and Hardy used to make me fall about on the floor laughing. I have a strange sense of humour myself. I have nearly 200 clips of my telling jokes on YouTube, if you can find them. They don't seem to have been looked at very much. Maybe people don't like to be amused anymore. Well, I'm going to close there. God bless, while it's still legal in the UK to say God bless. Take care and bye for now.